I met Dee Dee when I was probably 14 or 15, 14 actually, and I worked as a car hop at a root beer stand. It was called the Penguin. Drake was my boss, and I got 10 cents an hour. So it was all tips. And he made his own root beer. And it was, he frosted the mugs in a freezer, and you pull that root beer in those mugs, and that ice there would just start caving in from the frost on putting them in the freezer. They were good, good, good. Now, imagine I was 14, and Daddy had an old 1939 Chevy Coupe. Now, if you can imagine that, if that was a tank. Now, I'm a little person. I had to put 4 or 5 pillows under me and behind me to reach the wheel. The wheel was like this, and I looked at it over like this, right through the wheel. The steering wheels were big, and I drove that sucker. I drove it from Urbandale down Loop 12 to Lancaster. So I met Dee Dee as a car hop. Bill McLaren used to come there. We always tried to get him because he gave us a whole quarter. This was about in 1956 or 7. And I guess the quarter went a whole lot further than it does today. So, we wanted it. Sometimes they'd even give us 2 quarters. So I always tried to get his. Well, this particular night, I gave up a couple of cars just so I could get him. When I went to get him, Richard was in the back seat, and so he was paying for their meal that day. He took them out to eat. So, and Bill, he didn't have any tip on there. So Bill said, "Richard, aren't you going to tip her?" He said, oh, yeah. And he put a nickel on there. I should have known right then, just run. Don't even hang around. Just get out of there. No, it's been good. His dad owned a heating and air conditioning business, and so Dee Dee and I, the only reason he was allowed to take me home is because he would tell Bill, Brother Drake knew him, knew his family, so I was allowed to see Richard. He had to have been 17, 18. He was not a senior in high school yet. And the year before he graduated, he come over to the house and I did his homework. When he went to graduate back then, they had all kinds of parties. They had parties at a big, it's Sandy Lake. But to me, that looked gigantic back then. And real high diving board. They had a party there. They had a party at a dude ranch. And I made my clothes to wear for that because we couldn't afford to buy them. I taught myself how to read a pattern, and I was already sewing before I took home ec my junior year. Or was it my sophomore year? And I failed sewing. I did. I was 16, barely. By September 10th to October 11th, a month and a day. Of course, we eloped. They didn't know where we were or anything. October 11th, and we went to Gran, Oklahoma. And it was a Saturday, and we come back home, and it was Texas OU game. And the fair was going on. So my mom and dad and Margaret and them were just beside themselves as to what was going on. And of course, we come back and we're married. And they thought about annulling it. And we said, we're just going to run off again. It was crazy. We had to borrow money to buy gas to go get married. He finally paid it back to that guy. Oh, it was crazy. Of course, when we got married, we said that we would not ever be where every time we had a fight, we'd go home to our mom and dad. That just wasn't ever going to happen. And that's it. Have to go to your corners and wait till you figure out how to work it out and come back out. And that's what we had to do. We bought the property. We signed the papers on it in 1969, November the 30th, 1969, my little brother's birthday. And we bought 164.5 acres. It included the house, 2 barns, and a horse barn, all fenced, cross-fenced, 500 an acre.
This is what Gran made as a word. And Gran, how do you feel about that?
What did you think it was?
And she's got a crown.
About 3 tablespoons.
About 3 tablespoons.
Okay. lifetime. More than a lifetime. So it's hard to look back. I never looked back. I always looked forward. I always wanted to look forward.